Oh, Smitty at the shop. You can tell it's the weekend. I haven't shaved. What do we got here? March 25th. Chilly, wet day out today. But I'm thinking that the first weekend in May is the M3 Festival down in Maryland. That's going to come up quick. And last year, unfortunately, I didn't make it to the show, but the rest of the Van Haulin crew took the Van Haulin van down there. And unfortunately, this is how it came back. Good God. Look at this thing. It smells like COVID, sex, and regret. And popcorn. So we got to take a look at the brakes on that. There was an issue with the brakes. It's been sitting up on the hill just about for the past year. So I'm going to pull it down. I'm going to adjust those brakes, and I'm going to see what I can do about the paint. You know, I've been over ambitious and really wanted to paint the whole van. It's probably not going to happen. But let me dig in and see what I can get done, you know, between everything else and between now and, you know, the end of April. All right. Check it out. Let me introduce you to Van Haulin. This is a 2005 Dodge Caravan with 52,000 original miles on it. Originally a New York City Transit Authority vehicle. This has been our concert cruiser for the last 3 or 4 years. On a whim, I decorated this thing up a couple of years ago, and it took on the persona of Van Haulin. And has since just become just kind of a goof thing we do. We go to concerts, we post on social media, et cetera, et cetera. But anyway, Van Haulin is starting to get a little haggard. All of our decals are starting to peel. The paint is in real rough shape. As you can see, the original clear coat is coming off. Originally, when I did the hood, that was just rattle can red, you know, and then some decals. So I want to give her a little bit of love. I don't want to get crazy. But I do want to, you know, Van Halen served us super well, so I want to make it look a little better. So, if you're interested in a Van Halen makeover, why don't you all stay tuned. All right, so surprisingly, they came off with not too much effort. Some of the higher quality stripes were a little more difficult to get off, as you would expect. I'm not going to do the tailgate or the hood until I'm ready to start completely stripping paint off this, just in case I don't have time between now and May. Next step, look at that, rockers. Gone. It's seen better days. We're gonna have to doctor that up. I think I might, I'm not sure. I'm gonna come up with a plan. But anyway, the next step is gonna be to go to the car wash, or maybe even just pull out the gas pressure washer and just give this thing a good cleaning and blast some of this muck and guck off of here. All right, there she is, all prepped and taped off. It's gonna hit a couple of pieces of tape here and there. And then we're gonna start our 3-step process. well, 3 layers. Well, actually 4 layers. What do you got? White, then black, then red, then clear. I have striped vehicles in the past with a decent amount of success. I've never tried this. This is a little bit different. Again, it's on a vehicle that it really, if I fail miserably, that's okay. All right, stay tuned. I just want to say quickly, just as I'm getting ready to lay this paint down, I'm just thinking a little bit about Eddie Van Halen and his life and obviously his legacy. And I think truly, you know, even if you're not a big music fan or a guitar fan or just not, maybe even just not a fan of Eddie Van Halen, I truly believe that his legacy will live on forever, not just in his playing and his contribution to the music world, but even in silly ways like this. I can't imagine that he ever thought for a minute as he was masking up his, you know, home-built guitar that it would become as iconic as it has. All right, take 2. 30 years of painting, and I don't think that's ever happened, but I didn't put the top on the spray gun. Yeah. All right, good God. Take 2. Big blotch of paint on the floor. My God. All right, well, my sincerest apologies because I just had one technical issue after faux pas after another. So we have a pretty solid coat down on the hood. There's a couple little blemishes I've noticed that I might address before recoating. I don't know if you can hear in the background, but I'm reshaking the primer. I had to pull the gun apart, re-clean it. I guess it's been a while since I used that gun. So that's about it. We have not touched the tailgate yet. I'm going to shake that primer up, see how this flashes off, and then we'll try again. All right, there you go. 2 good wet coats of epoxy primer on the hood. 2 good wet coats of epoxy primer on the rear hatch. We're going to let this flash off for an hour. It's an hour before you can top coat on it. Yep, that's not good. Still tacky. We're at an hour and 15 minutes. Dang it. That's okay. Just gotta wait. All right, guys. Well, here it is. The following day, I had an issue with that epoxy primer that went on. It was pulling right off with the striping tape. Now, I don't know if that is indicative of a bad mix of primer, whether it was something underneath. I only did it on a couple of spots and then I stopped. So I let it cure overnight. You have to top coat that epoxy within 24 hours. So anyway, I came in this morning, heated up the shop. I just blew a quick white base coat on it. It seems to, now let's see. I hit it on a few spots. Let's get real bold and just stick it right there. And what was happening, I don't know if you guys can see right here, I mean, it pulled that epoxy primer right up. Yeah, we're good with the base coat now. It's, the base coat has cured just about an hour and a half. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get going on the striping here. I'm going to lay out the white stripes. I'm not going to get too crazy, but there's going to be a handful of white stripes, and then we'll blow on the black base coat for the black stripes. All right. Here goes nothing. Okay, black base coat is down. And let me just mention, if this were uh, an important project, like say a hot rod, or even worse, a customer car, I would have stopped already. Between the issue of the primer pulling up, and then I'm having a slight issue with the tape. It's not tape I would ordinarily use. I mean, I'm using literally painter's tape that you buy in Lowe's. It's just not what I would be using typically to do striping work, except for the very thin stripe. That's actually striping tape. The blue stuff that I'm using it's not made for this. Anyway, that's starting to pull up in a couple spots. We're going to keep going. It's not that important in this case. We're going to hope for the best, and we're going to keep laying paint down and see how it turns out. Okay, stay tuned. Guys, as a footnote, I would just want to mention also this red base coat is 20 years old. It's got a date on the side of 2003. Not that it's been mixed, it's been unmixed, but I would imagine that the reducer is 20 years old also. But hey, that goes right in line with this project. Well, I'm glad it's over. This one was just one hurdle after another. My last and final hurdle was I actually ran out of clear coat. So I didn't get a real... I would have gone one more coat on both the hood and the deck lid, but the deck lid in particular, because that's when I ran out. But it is what it is. It's done. There's the hood. It's got a decent shine to it. Little mistakes aside. We'll unmask this and I'll do one last video tomorrow. There's the deck lid. You can see, if you catch the light there, that the bottom last 6 inches of the deck lid are dry spray. That's where I ran out of the clear. I didn't get a good wet coat. And you can see it hazed there, understandably. It just wasn't wet enough. Top part is okay. Oh, good God. Should not have been this difficult. But that's what I get for using old materials and taking shortcuts and just trying to do a quick, simple project here. At any rate, it's done. We're gonna let it sit overnight and I'll unmask this tomorrow and give you one last look at it. And there you go, there's your finished product. I don't know if it was worth the aggravation or not. All right, next step is gonna be decals. Let me just show you the hood. There's what that looks like. And again, there'll be a decal on the hood too. as there was previously. All right, well, hopefully this will last a little bit longer. Not that the original pinstripes lasted, I don't know, several years, considering the thing is out in the weather year-round. But hopefully this will hold up a little better. All right, so you guys saw me put that sticker on, and unfortunately, in typical Smitty fashion, I pulled this in real quick. I had about 40 minutes between appointments today, and I put the hood one on. I like that. You know, I went with italics this time, and then the black surround on the white letters, which previously they were just block letters with just plain white. So I kind of like how that looks. Plus a little shine behind it, since we got some real paint on there. And then on the side windows, we got Van Halen, and then of course Heather's got others. Hopefully she's going to redo our Eddie Van Halens that were up there. And some of these just, you know, they didn't hold up to the weather very well. So hopefully she's going to take care of them. So we got one last peel here on this side window. These I put on dry, flat surface, you know, just clean the window and put them on dry. They always work a little better that way if you can do it that way, but boom. And there you have it. All right, looks good. There's a little side action here. I think that's going to do it for me. Actually, I'm going to touch up the rockers. I put some spray foam in them. Yeah. I'm going to touch up the rockers, and then I'm going to pass this on to either Heather or Kelly. Kelly's going to clean the inside and start getting us packed up. And again, Heather's going to replace a bunch of our stickers that the weather did not agree with. All right. Stay tuned. We've actually gone through mechanically. They had an issue last year. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to go last year, but there was an issue with the brakes. So I went ahead and just put new hoses, calipers, pads, rotors. So hopefully that'll be good to go. Everything else seems decent. Oil's fresh. All the fluids are topped off. I might polish those headlights too. Or not. We'll see how that goes. All right. I'm going to pass it over to the next stage. Yep, it's that time. Beginning of M3 weekend. Even though it's Thursday. We're starting early. Just got to Kelly's house, waiting on the rest of the Van Halen crew. There's a look at Wolfgang Van Tralen. We'll be hooking that little buggy up to the back of Van Halen. And we'll be moseying on down the road to Columbia, Maryland for the M3 Festival. Looking forward to seeing a bunch of awesome people. And as a bonus, a bunch of awesome bands. What you got, Sean? Got new kicks?
Got new kicks. We're loaded up.
Oh, this thing is going to be lived in by the end of the weekend.
So stinky.
This is it. 5 hours from now, we'll be in scenic Columbia, Maryland. Right, Van Hollen?
Yeah. Ow!
Either that or we'll be on the side of the New York State Thruway somewhere. Crowd here.